Good morning, all of you. So yesterday we have completed the sources of the Chola Dynasty that we people have done. Today we need to start the political history of Chola Dynasty. In that we people have to study about Rajaraja first, and we have to study about Rajendra Chola. Is it clear? Now, Rajaraja first was a brilliant general, all right, and he was champion in all direction. Is it clear? First thing. Then many times he attacked the Pandyas and the Chera kingdoms. Okay, then Rajaraja annexed many parts of the Deccan, all right, and he reached till Bengi, all right. Then he did his these things in order to strengthen the Chola power. Okay, so we are studying about Rajaraja first. But who led the foundation of the Chola dynasty? That is, Chola ruler Vijayalaya established Chola rule in Tamil land with Tanjavur as his capital. So who led the foundation of Chola dynasty? Vijayalaya. Is it clear? Then the next ruler who became very powerful after Vijayalaya was Rajaraja first. Rajaraja first was a brilliant general and champion in all direction. He attacked the Pandya and Chera dynasties several times. Then he has captured many parts, almost all the parts of the Deccan. All right. Then he has also done the coast of Kerala, Ceylon, and the Maldive Islands had become rich through the money that come to them from overseas trade. So Rajaraja first has encouraged overseas trade. All right. Due to this, Kerala, Ceylon, and Maldives islands become very rich. Then India was actually selling textiles, spices, precious stones to the West Asian countries during the reign of Rajaraja first. Then the people from Western Asia for doing the trade, all right, with the Arab merchants. Okay, then Rajaraja was aware of the importance of controlling the sea. He was knowing that anyhow I'll have to control the sea because I'll have to do the overseas trade. So he decided to show his strength along the coast of South India. So he took out a naval expedition. He started a naval expedition and attacked both Sri Lanka and Maldive Island so that he can have a control over the seas. Then he conquered half of northern Sri Lanka. That is, northern part of Sri Lanka is conquered by Rajaraja first. This is his contribution. Then he has built Rajeshwara temple of Lord Shiva at Tanjavur. Then in the walls of the Rajeshwara temples, all the praisings of Rajaraja first was mentioned. Then under his rule, the Chola became the supreme power in southern India. Okay, and then trade reached to its height, and he has got success in making his kingdom prosperous, very rich. Is it clear to all of you? So these are the contribution of Rajaraja first. Rajaraja first was a brilliant general. He was expert in all the direction. Several times he has attacked Pandyas and Cheras, and he got success in capturing the Deccan part of India. He was giving lot of importance to the trade. Because he gave importance to overseas trade, he got success in making Kerala, Ceylon, and Maldive Islands very rich. Okay, then during his reign, only textiles, spices, and precious stones were sold it to the West Asian countries. Okay, then most important contribution of Rajaraja first was naval expedition. Rajaraja was aware of the importance of controlling the sea. So he decided to show his strength over the coastal areas of South India. So he has actually took a naval expedition and attacked two countries, that is Sri Lanka and Maldives. And he got success in conquering the northern part of Sri Lanka. Apart from these, he's one of the most important contribution that he built the Rajeshwara temple of Lord Shiva in Tanjavur. So these are, and due to his so much importance to trade and overseas trade, he got success in making his kingdom very prosperous and rich. Okay, then after Rajaraja first, the next king of Chola kingdom was Rajendra Chola. Like Rajaraja first, Rajendra Chola was also very daring, was also brilliant, and was also having multi-dimensional character. Okay, Rajendra succeeded his father Rajaraja first. He continued his father's policy. What is the most important thing? He invaded and annexed the whole island of Sri Lanka, because Rajaraja first has captured the northern part of Sri Lanka, but Rajendra Chola has got succeeded in capturing the whole island of Sri Lanka. That is one of the great contribution. Then Sri Lanka has not able to make itself free from for 50 years from the control of the Chola kingdom. Then Rajendra Chola was a daring campaigns. He was always doing the campaigns which were very daring. All right. Once his army marched to the east coast of India, he reached to the from south. He reached to the east coast of India through Odisha, and then he reached to River Ganga. This was never been done by any South Indian ruler, but it was for the first time done by Rajendra Chola. That his campaign was so daring that his army once reached to the east coast of India and reached even to the Ganga River. Then Rajendra Chola himself led the army up to the Godavari river, and thereafter his general took up the charge of the army. Then the Chola army defeated Mahipal, the king of Bengal, was also defeated by the Chola army. So you can understand, for the first time any South Indian ruler has reached to the east and then to the north. Okay, then he got the titles because of his daring campaigning efforts. He got the title of Gangai Konda, and he has adopted the title of Gangai Konda and built a new capital called Gangai Konda Cholapuram. He built a new capital and he got the title of Gangai Konda, and that's why he has made a new capital called Gangai Konda Cholapuram. Is it clear? Then his most daring campaign was Southeast Asia, one of the most daring campaign. Okay, then for centuries. Okay, what was the story actually? For many years, the Indian merchants had been trading with various parts of the Southeast Asia. From many years, the Indian merchants were doing the trade, and with southern area. Through the Straits of Malacca. They were using the Malacca Straits, and Indian merchants were doing trade with the Southeast Asia and China. By using what strait? Malacca trade. Okay, then, but what was the problem? Problem was that Malacca was held by kingdom of Sri Vijaya. Okay, then as the merchant of Sri Vijaya began creating problem for the Indian, then the Malacca Strait was actually ruled by Sri Vijaya. Then the merchant of the Sri Vijaya have seen that Indian merchants are earning so much income, so much money they are making by doing the trade with the Southeast Asia and southern China. Then they started creating problem, all right, for the Indian merchant. Then Indian merchants have complained to Rajendra Chola. Then Rajendra Chola has gone with huge navy and defeated the Sri Vijaya king and captured the Malacca Strait. And this was one of the most important contribution of Rajendra Chola. Is it clear to all of you? So, I have explained to you today about the political history of Rajendra Chola. What was the first political history of the of the Chola dynasty? What was the first political history? The Chola dynasty, the foundation of the Chola dynasty was led by Vijayalaya. He has made Tanjavur as the capital. Apart from Vijayalaya, Rajaraja first has done lot of work, he has done lot of work for the overseas trade. Then his son, Rajendra Chola, has also done lot of work and expanded and increases the economic prosperity of the Chola kingdom. Is it clear? Now, we have completed the political history. Now we need to study about the Chola administration. We have to study about the Chola administration. Under Chola administration, you need to understand they were having three forms of government. Central government, where everything was controlled by the king. Then provincial government, which was called as Mandalam. Then local self-government. The three things we people have to study under the Chola dynasty. Is it clear? Now see the first one, that is central government. Okay. For the central government, you see, the king was the most important person in the Chola administration, as all authority was vested in him. Okay. So who was the most important authority in the central government? The king. Then he was having his council of ministers to advise him, but supreme authority was king. Then the king often went on tours in order to keep a check on the administration. As supreme, he was a supreme authority. He was having a council of ministers to assist him. So to check the work and to see the atmosphere, condition of his administration, he was frequently going on a tour. The officers were paid by giving them assignments in revenue-bearing lands. Then the princes were associated with ruling sovereign and actively employed in peace and war. The central government looked after, what were the things which the central government was looking after? External defense, internal peace and order, promotion of general prosperity, culture, progress of the empire. Now next is provincial government. See all of you in the book, page number 17. The Chola Empire was divided into mandalams. In place of provinces, they were calling them mandalams. Okay, and then these mandalams were divided into Valandu and Nadu. Is it clear? So, provincial government. The Chola Empire was divided into several provinces, which was called mandalam, and mandalam was divided into several Valandu and Nadu. Then we have a local self-government. Under local self-government, the village administration was carried out. And in the village, there were three assemblies, which is very important. Underline, these three types of assemblies are Vur, the Sabha, the Nagaram. Three assemblies were there, the Vur, the Sabha, the Nagaram. Is it clear? What was the Ur? Vur was the common type of assembly of the village. Every member of the society of the village was going and was the member of the Vur. The Sabha. The Sabha was an exclusively Brahmin assembly. The Vur was a general assembly of all the people of the village. But the Sabha was the assembly of the Brahmins only. And Nagaram was an assembly of the merchants and traders. Is it clear? So, the local self-government means the village administration, and village administration was looked after by three assemblies, the Vur, the Sabha, the Nagaram. The Vur was the common type of assembly of all the people of villages. The Sabha was the assembly of the Brahmins. The Nagaram was the assembly of the Nagaram was the assembly of the merchants and traders. Is it clear? Only this much we people have to study under this chapter. Other things are not the part of the chapter. Is it clear? Then today only I'll give you the question answers of this chapter. So today I have completed the chapter number 8, that is the Chola Dynasty, children. Okay, what things we have studied under this? The two sources of Chola Dynasty, that is inscription and Brihadeshwara temple. Then we have studied about political history, about two kings, that is Rajaraja I and Rajendra Chola. Then we have studied about the Chola administration, three things, that is the central government, everything in the book, provincial government, everything in the book, and the local self-government, only about the three assemblies, that is the Vur, the Sabha, and the Nagaram. Is it clear to all of you? So today I'm going to give you the question answers also of the Chola dynasty. For today only this much. Thank you, children.